Research complete.
Hey, get your feet off my creep! Yes, we're moving on to ZerO versus EffOrt ZVZ rematch between these two. EffOrt already up one, so he is in a very comfortable position moving into this epically dark, awesome setting for this now. The sun has gone down, and ZerO has got to be nervous. I actually read an interview with ZerO after, I think it might have been a win in Pro League, maybe a win in Pro League, or maybe just after his day one win, where he said he'd be very, very nervous today, just because that's what he's like. He reminds me a lot of Movie, just a very naturally shy person. And that could be very bad for him, especially considering the stupid people in the audience. That he's going to look out and see those people in the audience and say, "Oh my God, I'm screwed." But okay, yes, I actually had a revelation about ZerO I'm going to share when I get into the game. A very recent revelation. I've only had a couple real epiphanies commentating StarCraft. I'll talk about those in the game. But it looks like we're getting ready to start. Match point is the map. So I'm expecting some pretty high level ZVZ from these two. So let's get the colors, very important. Except, okay, down here at the 8 o'clock position in brown is EffOrt brown. So up at the 2 o'clock position in blue is ZerO. Scouting in the right, oh, it's a 2-player map, okay. But like I said, I had kind of an epiphany about ZerO the last time I commentated this game, which was the first set in this series. EffOrt, he did very good job. Can't really take anything away from him there. Got a nice little sneak attack with Scourge. And obviously, going through the tiebreaker hell that was against Gogo and Shine, I think EffOrt kind of awoke. I think something inside of him back in the day, back a couple months ago, people were saying, EffOrt, he's going to be the next big Zerg. I was thinking the same thing. And that kind of tapered off, and now he seems to be getting that fire back, rekindling that, at least as far as this matchup goes. Hard to tell about any of his other matchups right now. Just been playing a lot of ZVZs. But yeah, like I said, ZerO, he just didn't play as well as I thought he would. Uh-oh, I think they're feeding that dog cyanide! Oh, you sick sons of... Okay. But yeah, like I said, ZerO just didn't play that well. And watching his... He played a Pro League game, an ace match in the Pro League recently, where he didn't play that well. Too, against C. He was up against C, and he had the right strategy. Of course, ZerO's strategies are always great, but his execution was just not that great. Just watching his ace game against C. By the way, the hat trick coming up for both players here. I pretty much expected this on this map. It takes a long time to run to the bases. And yeah, ZerO, he had a lot of idle drones, and he was kind of wasn't pumping enough troops to really make use of his strategy, even though I think he probably could have, because he had enough hatcheries going. He just let his micro slide, let a lot of things slide. So that was the epiphany I had. After watching ZerO all these years, it never really dawned on me, but he's not a very clutch player at all. He's very shy, he crumbles in really high-stakes situations, always crumbles when he really shouldn't, because ZerO, I'd say he's the second best Zerg behind Jaedong. That might be a little bit controversial, but he plays very, very good, as long as it's not a high-stakes matchup in front of a lot of people like this. So hopefully ZerO can prove me wrong today by bringing an excellent S-class game against EffOrt, because he's definitely going to need it. EffOrt has been boosting his play, and it's been very impressive to watch. But Actually, the other epiphany I had, that was one of two epiphanies I've had while commentating. The other was fantasy doesn't suck. Back when I started commentating StarCraft, the in-crew at OSL, fantasy was moving up. Everyone's like, yeah, fantasy sucks. I don't know why he's up here. He beat GG Play. I don't know how. I got to the finals somehow, and Stork crushed him, although wasn't convincing crush because he beat him 3-2. And then the next season, I was still thinking that fantasy was kind of bad, but he got to the finals again against Jadong, and after the first two games, that's when it really clicked in my head, and I realized how good of a player fantasy really was. And that was the first epiphany I had while casting StarCraft. And I guess that's a little bit controversial, too. I'm sure there's some people who are going to leave comments like, fantasy still sucks. He's not good. He's a silver medalist. He's never going to win anything. But I don't think that's the case. I think fantasy is definitely a great player. And I wasn't convinced of that until he went up against Jadong, even though he lost in that series. Showed incredible play. But enough about fantasy. Let's go on to ZerO again. Oh, there's ZerO's twin sister in the audience, slapping the slappy thingies together. Thunder sticks with ZerO's name on them. ZerO. Okay. So Zergling's coming up. This is a very mirrored build from both players. So we're probably not going to see probably not going to see the heavy attacks soon. But okay, ZerO looks like he's coming out with a few more Zerglings. I think he's going to be able to probably kill at least one of these Zerglings. But no, he backs off. He knows there are going to be reinforcements out there soon.